As you can tell by the title, we are going to unhaul a lot of books. Now, some of these books I've already read. A lot of these books I've already read, and some I haven't. What I plan on doing is just putting them on my Pango, and then if it stays in my Pango for too long, I'll probably just end up putting it in some free little libraries because I just don't want them. There's many reasons as to why I am unhauling. For one, I have an obscene amount of books, both read and unread. I have an obscene amount of books. Hello, cat. Because of that, I want my library to just be books that I would read or want to read or have read and absolutely loved. Like, I want a library that I'm just like, yes, these are my favorite reads. Do you know what I mean? So that's what we're doing. We're going to cultivate a little bit, and we're going to get rid of a lot of books. My reading tastes have changed significantly since even just starting this channel, but also since I started reading. My reading tastes have changed significantly. So we have a lot of books to go through. I'm not sure how I'm going to do this. I feel like these stacks that are just right here, it's like smart to start with them, so let's do that. The first thing that we're going to get rid of is a trilogy, actually, and that is the Dreamland Billionaire series by Lauren Asher. I have all 3 books, and I do believe these are like one of the original, I don't know, whatever, it doesn't matter. Anyways, I'm getting rid of all 3 of these books. Now, I did kind of like these books. However, I have decided after a lot of struggling with this, because quite frankly, I just didn't want this to be a conviction for some reason, but spice and smut make me just very uncomfortable, like just very uncomfortable. And it was something that I just didn't want to be a reality for myself, but it is. And then also, as I progress in my walk with God, I realized that these are just things that I just don't want around my house. Like, I don't want my daughter to think that it's okay to be uncomfortable. So I'm getting rid of them. So these will go on to my Pango account. I don't know if it's better. Let me know if you guys know, but I don't know if it's better to do like a series, sell things as a series, or to sell them individually. I never know, because sometimes I'm like, oh, I just need the one book, or sometimes I'm like, I want to buy the whole series. So I never know if it's better to do it as a series or as individual. So let me know what you guys think. The next book that I'm getting rid of is this one's A Winter in New York. I do need to clean this because it's just been in dust for a very long time. But this is A Winter in New York by Josie Silver, and I am unhauling this. Also, there's too many books for me to go through and tell you what every single one is about, so I'm not doing that. Just in case you were like, what is that book about? Go onto my Pango and find out, because there's like 100 books that I'm getting rid of. So probably not 100. I don't know. We'll find out at the end, but there's a lot. So anyways, A Winter in New York by Josie Silver. I'm unhauling this one because I'm putting it up on my Pango because I didn't give it a very high rating. I thought it was kind of boring and I wasn't very interested in it. So we're going to go ahead and unhaul that. Now, this next book, and there's a few by this author. I should get them all together, but I'm not going to because that would take so much work. I'm going to get rid of Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood. I was a huge Ali Hazelwood stan. I loved Ali Hazelwood, but the more I have walked away from her and read other things, the more I realize that she's not that great of a writer for me, at least not for my tastes. I will never reread this again, and I'm just going to keep the memories that I have of it and be happy with that and be content with that, but I don't need the book because this is a book that I would not want my daughter to read, so I don't want it to be available for her to grab. I do remember as a child, my mom had tons of books that I used to grab all the time. And I remember the first time I read a naughty scene in one of her books and I was like, oh! The next book that I am going to be unhauling, as you can see, is Tomorrow, Tomorrow, Tomorrow. This is by Gabrielle Zevin. A lot of people love this book. I just couldn't get into it. I just couldn't do it. Didn't really like it. I'm also going to unhaul Throne of the Fallen by Carrie Maniscalco. This one, again, just did not like it. I actually had the second one pre-ordered and I canceled it. I canceled the pre-order because I was like, this book is just not it. It was like so much spice and unnecessary scenes. It was dragged on. It was so boring. And I have realized that I just don't like Carrie Maniscalco's writing in general. Like, I just don't like her writing. The only book that I did like in her writing, I gave Kingdom of the Wicked 3 stars. I gave it 3 stars. I am unhauling the entire series because I felt like there were so many plot holes that were just never addressed in the whole series. And I thought that maybe they would get addressed like later on. They don't. They just don't. And we're just supposed to like be okay with that they never get addressed. So I am actually getting rid of the entire series. This was the only series that I completed of hers. And it was fine. But Kingdom of the Wicked and Kingdom of the Feared are YA. This one, or wait, this is book 3, right? Is this book 3? Maybe it's not. Maybe it's Kingdom of the Feared is book 3. I thought it was Kingdom of the Cursed is book 3. Which one's book 3? Ages 16 and up. I don't think so, my friend. I don't remember. I think it's Kingdom of the Cursed is book 3, but whatever. Either way, in one of the books, there is a full-blown open door scene where Carrie Maniscalco has decided we're no longer going to be YA. We're going to be new adult, which doesn't make any sense. You're either adult or you're not adult. Like, why do we have to make up new terms? It's stupid. We're unhauling it because I can't stand her writing and I don't plan on ever reading them again. And also they're kind of demonic a little bit on the side. You Again. This book, also beloved, also didn't care for it. I just couldn't get behind any of the characters. They're both pretty insufferable. And as I've realized, I don't want insufferable characters. I just don't want them. Now, this next book, you're not going to be confused about. Hunting Adeline by H.D. Carlton. I don't need to even talk about why we're getting rid of that because I've already explained that I don't like spice. Also, Crossed. I did enjoy this book when I was reading it, like the storyline. I actually really enjoyed the storyline. But again, moving on. This one, A Borrowed Boyfriend. I actually really liked this book. I thought it was really funny. I thought it was really cute. It's a cute premise. Once again, just don't like spice. I just don't want any books with spice anymore. I don't want a book that I have to skip pages. If I have to skip the pages, then I didn't get my money's worth in my head. Like, that would be like going to a very expensive dinner and ordering a $50 meal and then having like 3 bites of it and then just throwing the rest away. Like, that just feels like a waste to me. Love to Loathe You, also by Ali Hazelwood. We're just done with Ali Hazelwood. We're just done. This one, okay, I really like her writing. I have her other books. Mia Sheridan. I'm keeping a lot of Mia Sheridan's books. However, All the Little Raindrops was too much for me. I couldn't do it. It was way too intense. I just couldn't do it. So we're going to get rid of it. I don't need to say anything. Cloud Cuckoo Land. Okay, so I read this book, Anthony Doerr. This took me so long to read. It took me forever to read. I was so confused. I just not smart enough. I was not smart enough for this book, and that's why we're going to go ahead and put it on our Pango. I just wasn't smart enough for it, and that's okay. That's okay. Everybody loves BK Borison. I also have her other book. Hold on a second. I'm also getting rid of this one and the third one is somewhere in there, but I'm getting rid of the BK Borison because she's just not the author for me. It's just not the author for me. I don't know. I think I'm just getting rid of this one because of I think it was just too sexual for me. I feel like this was just too sexual of a book, but Talk Bookish to me, I did really like it. And the main character has the same first name as me. So that was cool, but I just didn't love it. I didn't love it. So we're going to get rid of that. Serpent of Wings and Night. My friend forced me to read this. She loves this series. She loves this book. I think maybe because at the time I had also read a bunch of Sarah J. Maas books and it just felt like a copy paste of everything that I had been reading. I think if I had read this and then everything else that I had read, or even just like spaced it apart, it would have been fine. But it just felt, it just wasn't for me. Again, it just wasn't for me. The Lost Story. This is by Meg Schaefer. I don't know what to tell you, but I just could not I hated this book. I hated it so much. So we're not going to have it in my library. We are decluttering, okay? We are finding joy in our books. And this book did not bring me joy. Let me just move some of this because some of this is a series that's like mixed up. In a Jam. This is by Kate Canterbury. This is a monster of a book. And in 2026, we're not reading romances that are even close to 500 pages. We're not doing that. If your romance needs 500 pages, then it's not a romance, okay? You need to figure something else out because no. In 2026, my romance books will be 300 pages or less. That's it. Another huge romance, Lucy Score. I have a couple Lucy Score books that are going in here, and I just can't do it anymore. I'm sorry. I don't even like Lucy Score's writing. I know some people do. This one was just so juvenile, and I'm not interested. I'm not interested. Funny you should ask. I'm not interested. I will never reach for this again. I love the cover. I think the cover is so cute and so innovative, but the story was boring. I don't even remember the story. That's how boring it was. Here's those stacks. Let me grab some more books. Hold on a second. This is the last of all the books that I have read. So let's fire through these. Love Hypothesis. Again, Allie Hazelwood. I have no interest in Allie Hazelwood anymore. More Lucy Score. Why are you so thick and boring? The Way I Used to Be. This was a good book. I actually did very much like this. I'm getting rid of it though because I felt it was one of those books that are just so hard to read and hard to get through that if you read it once, you're good. You're done. I'm not going to reach for this again. And yeah, also like before you're like, what about your daughter grabbing it? You had just talked about, look, my daughter's 1 year old. Okay. If she wants to go to the library and pick this back up, that's fine, but she's 1. It's fine. For my last email, this is by Juliana Smith. It was cute, but it's like very juvenile romance for me personally. And also heavy smut, heavy smut. The Ancient Ones. This is the first book that I purchased off of Book Talk and is the reason why I will no longer ever buy another book from Book Talk. This book was like the worst book I have ever read in my entire life. Like, the worst. I went on Goodreads and ranted for so long about this book. You can go look it up, but it was a pretty little mistake. I think I gave this 2 stars. There's a reading vlog out there somewhere of me reading this, and it, again, just like very strange behavior. Very strange behavior. There's a cat coming through. Just watch. Hold on. Okay. Sorry. Come on. Honey. Oh. And then also Ready or Not, I DNF'd this book. I couldn't even get through it. I was too hormonal when I first started reading it because I was pregnant at the time. That was the whole vlog. And yeah, we're just not going to read it again because it's just not going to happen. We're done with dark romance. We don't like dark romance anymore. The Kiss Curse. Again, this was cute. Again, it had a lot of spice. So I don't know. I liked the X-Hex. I think I am keeping the X-Hex unless it's somewhere in this pile. I'm pretty sure I'm keeping the X-Hex because I did like that and it felt fine. But this one was just pure sexual tension the whole time. And again, no interest. Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco. I will not be reading any more Carrie Maniscalco books. We're done. No more. Can't spell treason without T. I felt like there were so many problems with this. Like this was just not a realistic. First of all, it's not a cozy romance or cozy fantasy. It's not a cozy fantasy. A cozy fantasy does not have life or death situations. Like, what are we doing? So yeah, there will be none of that. Suicide Notes. This is also one of the first books that I read, and it's too much for me. I have kind of a past that's similar to that, and it's too much. I can't do it. I don't want to. Hunting, Adeline. Is this? Oh, no, this is book 2. No, Night After Night. This is by Julian Font. He is what is the word? Indie author. There we go. He's an indie author, and this was a pretty good book. I just am not, it just wasn't like a super amazing book. Like this is not like a 5-star read for me. It's not something that I'm going to reach for again. I honestly forgot that I even owned it. I forgot that I had even read it. So yeah, we're just going to pass it along. Okay, these next 2 books are in a series. This is Hellfire and Honey. They're both dark romances, so there you go. This series is a very beloved series that some people are going to get upset about, but I am getting rid of the Foxhole Court series. It's the Foxhole Court, the Raven King, and the King's Men. It's a trilogy. No, thank you. I didn't get it. I didn't get it. It wasn't for me. This book, I actually think I did give it a high rating. If not 4 stars, like very, very close to 4 stars, I believe. But I am going to get rid of Out on a Limb. I just don't feel like I'm going to reach for this again. I just don't see me reading this. Also, it's a first edition. And so I feel like somebody will appreciate this way more than I would. X's and O's, again, just very juvenile. I don't know. I think I'm not interested in super romance books. I think I'm more interested in like literary fiction with a romance in it, if that makes sense. Light in the Dark. I couldn't even tell you what this book. Oh, I do remember. No, I don't. I don't know. But I do remember that there was spice in it because look at that cover. That screams there's spice in this book. Beasts of Prey. Okay, I really had high hopes for this. And when I was reading it, I was really, really liking it. And then we got to the second half and I was like, what happened? Why did that happen? I was so confused. But the second half of this book completely ruined it. I think I went from like a 5-star to like a 1.5. Like I just was so confused. And yeah, the first half, incredible. The second half, I don't know what happened, but it was not good. Here's another book. This was sent to me and I don't know what to do about it because I have never any intentions of reading this. And look, they annotated it and everything. I don't know what to do because I'm not reading this. I don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do. So help me with that. I don't know what to do with that. Another version of Love Theoretically, but this one was signed. So that will also be going. Let's see what else do we have here. My Mechanical Romance. This was a YA book. It's clean. It's just kind of boring. And also like very weirdly misogynistic. So we're going to not do that. Here we go. Ava Reed, The Wolf and the Woodsman. I really liked this book. I just will never reach for it again. I have no interest in reading this ever again. Okay, this is the Off-Campus series. It's the blue version one with the cartoon characters. I read it. It was fine. There's other books out there that are better. The Academy for Liars. I read this. I gave it, I think, 2 stars. It's a dark academia book, and it was kind of lame. Okay, this is the last series that I have read. I'm pretty sure this is the last of the books that I have read, and it's a series that is going to upset a lot of people. But I'm doing it anyways. We're getting rid of ACOTAR. The whole ACOTAR. We're getting rid of it. Okay, let me explain. Let me explain why we're getting rid of it, okay? Let me explain. Book 1 is just poor writing. The only books in my brain that's like worth it, this series, is book 2 and maybe book 3, but this one, no. I read it and I was so angry because of the amount of inappropriate spice in this book. Like the amount that happens and the way people are just justifying abuse. Like, no. Because, no, actually, I'm not going to spoil it because some people have not read A Court of Silver Flames. But I will say the amount of people who are like, oh, I understand this abuser now. Like, I now feel bad. Can we not forget that this person also let somebody starve? Like, can we not forget that this person also did nothing to help anyone because they were so upset? Like, everybody had similar experiences of trauma. Just because you have a piece of trauma does not excuse you from abuse. It doesn't excuse you. I'm sorry, it doesn't. So we're not standing for this, okay? We're not going to promote this. We're not going to normalize this. It's just we're not doing that. All of those are the books that I have read, minus this. I wasn't going to show this, but I guess I will show it. I have the Fairy Loot versions of House of Earth and Blood and House of Sky and Breath. Those I'm not putting on my Pango. I'm actually going to send them to a friend of mine who absolutely loves this series. So I'm actually going to send it to her, and she can read those or display them or whatever. They're really nice. I spent a lot of money on them, but unfortunately, I finished the first book of Crescent series. I finished the first book and I was like, please tell me that you wrote this when you were 14, because that was really bad. Really, really bad. Okay, let me get the books that we have not read but have no intentions of reading. First one up is To Gaze Upon Wicked Gods. I just have no intentions of this one. I had it on a TBR, like a monthly TBR, had it on there. Just never reached for it, never was interested in reaching for it. I don't know. I just don't think I'm going to. So we're just going to unhaul it. This one still has a bookmark in it. But the remaining series of the Ember and Ashes series, the rest of the books are somewhere in here. I will take them out. But look, I even tried to start this one and I just couldn't do it. So we're just going to unhaul. We're going to unhaul. But yeah, there's Torch Against the Night, Reaper of the Gates, and then there's another one somewhere. Here's an Ember and Ashes. I have read this book. I'm sorry. I thought that you were with the others, but that's okay. I guess I haven't talked about this yet. I did read an Ember and Ashes. It just was very boring. I couldn't get into it. So we're DNFing, or not DNFing. We're unhauling. This book is Stephen King, Desperation. If you're new to this channel, then you don't know, but I despise Stephen King, and I always have. And I live in Maine, and I live very close near to him. And I don't like him. I don't like his writing. I don't like anything about him. So he's not a nice person. So yeah. And please don't defend him in the comments, because I will just delete them. I don't care. I don't care. I don't like him. And yeah, that's my personal experience with him. Annie Bot. I haven't read it. I don't plan on reading it. If you know what it's about, then you know what it's about. Yellowface. I actually tried to start this a couple times. Couldn't get into it, felt it was very boring. R.F. Kuang is just not an author for me. I read Catabasis, which will be in an unhaul later on, but I tend to keep the books that I have read this year. I keep them until the very end, and then the next year I will start unhauling them, but I like to keep them all together so that I can see the books that I have read. But that will be unhauled eventually. But R.F. Kuang's Yellowface, we're not going to even try it anymore. This book, I'm not DNFing. I'm unhauling the Hunger Games book, not for any other reason other than I already have this exact same copy of it. I guess I bought it twice and didn't realize, but that's fine. Under the Earth, Over the Sky. I don't know what this book is about. I think I got this from possibly Book Talk, actually. I don't know. But yeah. After that one book, I just can't read another one. Okay, here's some more of the, actually, Under the World. We're unhauling. I just have no interest in reading it. Here's a couple more Carrie Maniscalco books. We've got Capturing the Devil and Hunting Prince Dracula. I don't like her writing, so we're not even going to try. I'm moving on. This is Outlander. I have not read this book. I just have 2 copies of it. So that's why we're getting rid of this one, because I already have 2 copies. Mixed Signals by B.K. Borison. She's just not the author for me, guys. It's just not her. Bride of the Winter King. Couldn't tell you anything. I just haven't read it, and I don't plan on reading it. I just don't plan on reading it. Mother of Death and Dawn. This is by the same author who wrote The Serpent of Wings and Night. Something like that, whatever the book that I just showed you like a little bit ago. This is the same author. Again, I just don't want to. And also, I accidentally got the 3rd book in the series. I didn't even have the 1st book. Blood Mercy. Somebody told me to read this if I liked ACOTAR. I don't want to anymore because I think it has a lot of space. So, I Know Who You Are by Alice Feeney. I really like Alice Feeney. I like her writing. I just don't have intentions to read this, unfortunately. This also has a bookmark in it. Babel by R.F. Kuang. Again, no intentions. I don't like R.F. Kuang's writing. I'm sorry. I'm not doing it. Everything After by Jill Santopolo. I just don't have intentions of reading this. It's been on my TBR for so long. It Started with a Dog has just been on my TBR for so long. This is A Sky Beyond the Storm, part of the Ember Ashes series. I didn't like the series, so we're moving on with our lives. I have 2 copies of this book, so that's why we're going to get rid of one. More Carrie Maniscalco. I just don't like her as an author. She's not a good writer in my opinion. I don't know where the other book is of this. I'm assuming it's probably somewhere on my shelf, but this is V.E. Schwab's. Oh gosh, what is the first book? The Shades of Magic series. Hold on, what was book 1? I can't remember. Oh, here we go. Darker Shade of Magic is the first book. And then books 2 and 3, A Gathering of Shadows and A Conjuring of Light. I tried to read it. I'm not going to read it. I need to just accept that I'm not going to read these books and move on with my life. Meet Me at the Lake. I just don't want to meet you at the lake. I have no intentions of meeting you at the lake. How to Ruin a Wedding. Have no intentions of reading you. I don't want to. Funny Feelings. I wanted to read this, but then somebody told me that it is heavy in the spice department, so we're not doing that anymore. And that was the last book that I have here. There's probably more because, to be honest, I didn't really go through my unread pile for bookcases. I didn't really truly go through it just because there's a lot of books. There's like so many books. And I might do a physical TBR, like what I have on my physical TBR, and like go through all of that. I don't know. But what I do know is that these are the ones that I saw and was like, I'm never going to read this book. I'm just not going to do it. So these are all going on my Pango. If there is any book here that you were like, oh my gosh, I want to grab that, go to my Pango. Just go to Pango, grab it. I will be spending the next probably week putting these on my Pango account and getting them on there. I already have a bin of other books that I had unhauled last year. I need to go through and figure out if I'm going to just go to some free little libraries and drop them off or what. I don't know. But yeah, we need to get rid of a lot of books. So that is what I will be doing. Anyways, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Please let me know if there's any books in here that you're like, no, actually this one, I know you said you haven't read it and you think that there's spice. There's not actually spice. It's actually really, really good. Like, let me know if there's a book in here that you actually think I would really like that I haven't read. Not the ones that I have read. Because the ones I have read, I've decided, like, I've already read them. So we're just going to get rid of them. But yeah, let me know. Tell me what you think. Tell me your thoughts and opinions. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Okay, bye.